In this video, I'm going to be giving you a 2026 YouTube search automation free course. Now, the goal of this video is basically to teach you everything you need to know as a complete beginner, someone who's never even done YouTube search before, and allow you to kind of get started and build your first channel. Now, if you don't know who I am, what I do, my name is Harvey. I've been doing YouTube search automation for around 2 to 3 years at this point, and each month we're doing around 15 to 20k profit with this business model, and we've kind of systemized it very well. So every single different aspect of it, all the way from, the niche research to every part of the process is pretty systemized, and so it's very repeatable, and this is kind of the process we follow each time. And I'm going to walk you through the whole process, and we've got a lot of different key points here that I'm going to kind of go through. And so, get a pen, paper, take notes, and this is going to be a really good lesson, and it's obviously completely free. So let's get right into it. Now, the first thing on the list, what is YouTube search automation? So first of all, I'm going to kind of just tell you what YouTube search is. Now, on YouTube, you have two ways of kind of finding a video. You have browse or suggest, which is basically you go onto YouTube and there's videos on the home page, or you've just watched a video and there's videos on the side. And these are kind of like interruptive because you're not necessarily looking for them. You just click on them because they excite you. And that's one way of doing YouTube. And that's kind of the browse way. The other way you find videos on YouTube is the search way. And so the way that works is you go onto YouTube and you go into the search bar and you search something. So why do dogs lick you? You've just searched that on YouTube. And what you'll see here is there's a load of different results for this search term like this that are also getting views. And people might watch this for fun, but a lot of these they're going to watch because they've just searched for it. The second way you can find videos on YouTube in this way is on Google. And so you can see here, if I search on Google, why do dogs lick you? You've got this AI section up here, and on the AI section, you'll have a video here, which will link to YouTube. You also are going to have videos ranking here. And so when we do YouTube specifically, this is what we're tapping into. We're not tapping into the kind of browse, we're tapping into the search aspect. And there's a few reasons why we like to do search. The number one reason for me is it's very consistent, like super duper consistent. What you'll see with most videos that are kind of browse based is that you'll post the video, YouTube will recommend it, and it'll have a huge spike of views, and then it'll kind of like taper off like this. And it means that overall, when you look at your channel, you'll see a big spike in views and it'll go down, and that'll also be a big spike in revenue. And it means that, to get your next amount of revenue or next amount of views, you kind of have to keep posting these viral videos. And it's kind of like a very up and down pattern. And if you stop, your views stop as well, for the most part. And I don't like this. I don't like relying on these kind of ups and downs. I like something that's consistent and something that compounds. So I'm going to give you a few examples of channels here just to show you what I mean. So this is one of my search channels. And what you'll see here is that we started building it at the start of 2025. So that was about a year ago now, over a year ago. And you can see it kind of slowly ramps up, and it does have this up and down effect, but it just stays consistent. And so we stopped uploading in around June, and you can see even since June, obviously we had one upload here, this was just a channel intro, but even since June and we stopped uploading, the views have just stayed the same. They've stayed just as consistent, as you can see. And the same with the revenue more or less has stayed consistent. Obviously we had a little bit of a dip at Christmas, but that's normal, that's expected. And we're kind of back up now with peak days of like 225 and then lows of like 100 on the weekend. And you see this is really good because it's super consistent. So even when we stop uploading, it still pays us. So let's say we built this channel up, this one makes 50k per year now. We go ahead and make another one. We have 4 of these making 50k per year. That's 200k per year we're making from these channels passively at that point. We haven't worked on this channel in over 6 months. And I'll just show you with other channels as well. And so this channel is the exact same kind of trajectory. This one has been built in the start of 2024, so that's 2 years ago now. And you can see it, which is up and up and up. And I stopped uploading in November of 2024, so well over a year ago, and it continued to just keep printing money. Now there was a bit of a down trend here, and it kind of leveled out here, and it's starting to go back up, and there was a bit of a drop off here at 0. This is because the AdSense account changed, but other than that, you can see it's been very consistent. It's made $63,000. If we look in 2025, it made $35,000, and there wasn't even a single upload on the channel. There was one here you upload to keep things monetized, but other than that, there was no uploads, and that was just 35k of pure profit from this channel. And so I've just got one more channel to show you here. This is another search channel, and this one was started over a year ago, so you can already see it's kind of maintained views, and there was no posts for pretty much this whole year. You see it's maintained this level, and it's made 30k of pure profit. And if I go ahead and look at like lifetime, what you'll see here, this was like an old channel that I had, and I rebranded it to search. You can see that the views are like tiny compared to the browse stuff. but the revenue is huge, and you can see that it's basically grown and it's stayed consistent here. And so the reason I tell you all of this basically is just to show you that it's super consistent. You upload on the channel, you build it up to a point, and then it will just continue earning money. It's not like Browse where it will go up and drop off. It just keeps ranking and it keeps making money. This is why it's super powerful. Now, the second thing I like about this business model is that, quite frankly, it's easy. It doesn't require you to be a genius. You don't have to come up with crazy good ideas. You don't have to have good editing. You don't have to have good voiceovers, scripting, thumbnails, anything. You don't have to do anything crazy. You don't have to be like a good video creator at all. You just simply need to use data to make a decision. So you figure out what people are searching for and you make those videos, and you just look at the data. Are enough people searching for it? If they are, then you know it's worth making, then you make that video. And so that's another thing I like about it. It's easy. And the last thing I like about it is that it's very easy to run like a business. It's very easy just to kind of outsource the roles and just hire people to make the videos for you. Now, in stuff like Browse, it's quite hard to get a solid team together that's like consistently doing well. And so this way of doing YouTube, you can run it as a business. You can have a full structure of employees that make it all run while you're not doing anything. And so for the last year on these channels, and we run more than 10 channels in this exact same way, we've spent probably 1 hour a week on it. And the reason we spent 1 hour is because it's so outsourced that we have people in the Philippines basically doing all the other stuff, building the channels for us. So we don't really need to do much other than kind of just like pay them and just general overview. So that's what like the hour a week is for. And so these are the reasons that it's really good. Now, the next thing is, who is search good for? This question I'm going to answer now. Number one thing to know about search is that you're not going to get rich quick. In fact, the minimum time it's going to take before you see any money really is like 3 to 6 months. So if you want to get 100K next month, which no business model is going to do, and you're not going to wait it out, then don't do this. But if you've got like 3 to 6 months to wait and just be patient with it, it's a great business model. The second thing is that you're not going to make 100K a month. It's very difficult with this business model to make 100K a month. It has somewhat of a ceiling. Now, if you're happy with say 3 to 5K a month, like that's super achievable. That's very achievable. In 6 months, this is super achievable. And if you go along to like the 1 year time frame, you can get to 10K a month, even up to 20K a month. You can get there in about a year and a half. If you're very focused, you can get there in a year and a half. And so although you're not going to make 100K a month with this, it's very good because let's say you get to that 10K a month mark, you're going to stay at 10K a month for years. So it's going to consistently pay you that money, which is very, very powerful. And so really, if you're willing to wait like 3 to 6 months and you're more happy with like 5 to 10K, 3 to 5K of consistent income every single month, rather than making 100K per month, this is a great business model for you. And as I said, once you set it up and you kind of got it running, it's pretty hands off. So you're basically bringing in that 10K a month passively. Like you don't have to do much for it. It's just, you've got to kind of build up and wait. That's all it is. And so now let me just do a bit of like number breakdown for you. It kind of works out like this. One video will equate to 0.5 to $2 a month. So for every one video you have on the channel, you'll make about 50 cents to $2 per month. It can be higher. We have channels where it's like some video, like the videos will average $4.50 a month, but on a most basic level for beginners, it's going to be about this range. And like your average probably $1 per video per month, which means that if you want to make 5K per month, you're going to need around 5,000 videos. Now this might sound like a lot, and this is where the kind of long term comes into it. The good thing is that one video will cost around $1 to make. So 5,000 videos is going to cost you around $5,000. And obviously making 5,000 videos, you can't really do in 1 month. To make 5,000 videos, you can do it in 6 months pretty easily. That's like around 800 videos a month or something. And that's really achievable. And that will equal $800 a month for 6 months. And so that's kind of how the math breaks down. But let's say you're a beginner, you're getting into this. The goal I would say is you say within 6 months, I want to make 3K a month. So I'm going to have 3K videos, which means I'm going to have to make 500 videos a month, which means I'm going to have to invest $500 per month. And then your total investment for that 6 month period will be about $3,000. And in fact, the $3,000 here, you're not going to invest a full $3,000 because you'll start earning from the channel. So month 1, you'll earn 0. Month 2, you'll earn maybe $100. $100. Month 3, you'll earn 250. Month 4, it will be like 500. So you will recuperate your earnings as you go. So really the amount you're going to actually invest out of like your own pocket, probably around $1,500 across 6 months. It's pretty realistic. It's not like you're investing like a ton of money. It's not super risky. I thought I'd just break this down because it really is a numbers game. You can't expect to make 100 videos. That is not going to equal anything significant. So now that I broke down the numbers, let's talk about niches. So first of all, what makes a good niche? Now really, any niche can be good. Any niche can be good as long as it has searches. Now for us and the people who are beginners in YouTube search, generally they're just going to do software tutorials. Now the reason they do software tutorials is because they're very easy to do, not super complex, and there are so many of them out there. There's 20 million plus tutorials that you can make. And if I give you an example here, this guy's channel here, he just makes Shopify tutorials. He just makes simple things, how to set up shipping on Shopify, how to create wish list on Shopify. And this is really easy to do because all you need is a screen recording, a voiceover, and someone just to click on the screen and show you what they're doing. Now you might say, I don't know how to use Shopify. That's not a problem because when you look at these problems that he's solving, they're very, very simple. They're not like super complex, not like you're coding. It's really simple stuff that you can search on the internet and just like figure out yourself first. So it's stuff like how to set up collections on Shopify, how to add a sale price tag, how to add products to Shopify. This is really, really simple stuff that like anybody can learn quickly. And so generally any kind of software tutorials are going to be good. And this doesn't have to be software. It could be stuff like apps. So you could do like Facebook, Instagram, you can do Snapchat, you can do loads of different apps on your phone. And what I'd recommend doing for kind of some niche research is just go on your phone and just like look at which apps do you have on your phone and just pick some of those and start making videos. So I've got like iTunes Store, I've got like WhatsApp, Discord, Slack. There's so many different things on my phone that you could make videos about. And so the first way I would look for softwares is just go on your phone. But another way you can do this is just simply ask ChatGPT. So here I've asked it to give me 1,000 different softwares. It's giving me 200 that you could go ahead and do right now. And you can get 1,000 if you want to, but like I just want to show you that, you know, there's so many different ones on here that like each of these you can make a full channel about them. Just one of these softwares you can make a full channel about it. Now obviously you can go deeper into niche research. We talk about that a lot. Like there are some really deep niches you can go into. We've got stuff like best mattresses for back pain, like the mattress niche. We've got PMP exam, which is like an exam prep, and this is like another search based thing. But really the most basic thing you can do is just jump into tutorials about software. Now the next thing I want to talk about is RPMs. So there's a big debate in kind of RPMs. Now RPM stands for or means how much you get paid per 1,000 views. So if you have a $1 RPM, it means per 1,000 views you will get paid $1. If you have a $100 RPM or if you have a $10 RPM, you're going to get paid $10 per 1,000 views. So this can make a difference in how much you earn, and I'll explain why. If your video gets 1,000 views, you have to multiply that by your RPM, or we have to first divide it by 1,000, so that's 1. We have to multiply by our RPM. So if we have a $10 RPM, we'll make $10. If we have a $100 RPM, we're going to make $100. And this is obviously, you know, if we have a $1 RPM, we'll make $1. And so there's 100 times difference from the bottom range to the top range. And though a lot of people instantly say, well, I'm going to go for $100 RPM niche, I'm going to go for the high RPM niches. But then what you need to take into account is that there's more viewers for these low ones. So the example I will give you is gaming. Gaming is a huge audience, like billions of people watch it. And so you could get 1 billion people watching something and you might get $1 per 1,000 views. And there's gonna be way more views, or you can go for something niche like, let's say, forex trading or something like that, which is going to have way less people in it, but the RPM is going to be higher. And so they kind of cancel each other out in a way. What you need to do here, it doesn't matter. You can still make money with low RPMs, you can make money with high RPMs. The core thing that matters is you need to make sure there's enough views for the topic you're looking for it to be worth it. So if you can find something that's got a high RPM, $100, that's cool, but you need to make sure that you've got a big enough audience that are going to view it. And so there's a lot of pros and cons of both, and honestly people ask us all the time, what do we do? And we just do everything. Like I don't mind if it's $1, I don't mind if it's $100. Like the strategy works for both, for all different RPM ranges. The thing that's most important is being able to kind of calculate how much money you're going to make for a video, and I'll explain that in a minute. So to do this, what you need to do is you need to figure out how much do you want to make per year per video. Now for us, the baseline that I'm happy with, I'm happy to make $20 per video per year, because that then equates to more than $1 per month per video. So if we are in a niche where the RPM is like $1, then we know that each video needs to get 20,000 views. If we're in a niche with $10 RPMs, then we need 2,000 views. And if we're in a niche with $100 RPMs, we just need 200 views a year for a video. So what you need to do is just make sure you understand these calculations and you're able to basically figure out the RPM, figure out how many views you need, and that is going to be useful. Now, how do you know the RPM of a software? Well, you can use your intuition, and we have other videos about this that I talk about more about how to get good RPMs. I won't go into it in detail because it's quite complex in a way, but just use your intuition. Think about who's watching the video. If somebody who is spending money on business is watching it, your RPMs are going to be up. Let's say you get a 45-year-old who runs a company, your RPMs are going to be up. If you're going to get viewers who are like kids watching Roblox videos, your RPM is going to be down. And so you can kind of use your brain at that point to kind of estimate if it's going to be a higher or lower RPM based upon who's going to watch it. Now, I have other videos where I talk about RPMs and all that, and niches, different RPMs for different niches, so you can go ahead and watch that, but I won't cover it here because it's kind of self-explanatory. So now that we've covered niches and actually finding a good niche and like what a beginner should jump into, as well as the high RPMs, it's time to talk about keyword research and what it is, the views per year equation, and all that kind of stuff. So keyword research is now simple. So let's say we're going to make a channel about Canva. Now, Canva is an online editing software. It's like Photoshop. Now, I know already, I've got the data on this, the RPM of Canva is around $16. The RPM of Canva is around $16. Now, on the high end, it could be higher, lower, it could be lower. Now, if you want to downplay the estimate, you could even say $10, and that means that you'll be very sure that you're going to get the right amount of views. So if we say $10 is the RPM, we know that if we want to make $20 per year, we need to get 2,000 views. Boom. So that's what we're looking for. Now, there's a few ways you can go ahead and research keywords. You've got free ways and you've got paid ways, which are much better. So the first free way ultimately is you go onto YouTube and you do how to underscore on Canva. And what you're going to do is you're going to replace the underscore with an A, how to A on Canva. And you're going to see all the keywords here: how to B, how to C, how to D, how to E, to F, how to G. And it's going to give you all of these different recommended keywords here. And so what we can do is we can go through every single one of these and we can just basically look at them and see what kind of data are we getting. So how to find mockup on Canva, 1.4K in 2 years. We can see that these videos are not getting enough views to be worth it. And so basically, you need to go through the whole alphabet and search every single one until you find some that are relevant. So here we go. How to find good templates on Canva. This has had 5,200 views in 2 years, meaning that each year it's getting over 2,000 views. So this would be a good candidate for a video. We can make this, we know it gets enough viewers. And this one here also 9,900 in 2 years. It's slightly different. This is free templates on Canva, but still it's getting the right amount of views. So we know this keyword is potentially viable. And so this one, what you want to do is you want to make a spreadsheet for yourself. So you're going to have video title, you're going to have the views, a year, and these are the first two columns that you're going to have. And you're going to go ahead, paste the video title. So it's like how to find templates in Canva. And you're going to just put like the estimate of views per year. That's like 2,200, and boom, that's one keyword. Now this way is pretty good. It's just super slow. Ultimately, it's very slow, very time consuming. And the biggest problem is that you miss out on a lot of keywords because it's very limited. You're only limited to the search bar. And how to A on Canva, you know, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. At most, you've got like 14 per letter at most, and there's like 26 letters. So the most you're going to get is 300 keywords. That's the most you can get. And like a lot of these letters aren't going to have the keywords on them because like Z isn't going to have any, and like as you saw, C didn't have any. So the maximum you're going to get is 300. This was a limiting factor that we had, and so we had to build a tool for it. And so we built this tool specifically for YouTube search for this very reason. And so you can see here, the way that this works is you type in the software name, similar how you would do on YouTube, type in the software name, so Canva, and this is going to give you all of the keywords for Canva along with the search volume already. So Canva on our tool has 6,500 unique keywords here. And so basically we built this because we just was running out of keywords. If we can only get 300 keywords per software, it's just not enough. But this now expands it. You know, 6,000 keywords for this, there's thousands of different softwares. It means that the scope of videos you can make is way bigger. And so we built this just for those needs. And you're also going to find these very niche untapped ones. So what we can do is we can say, you know, yearly volume, we need between 2,000 to, let's say, 3,500. This is really good because now it's going to tell us all of the different keywords that are very specifically for our needs. Like, this is a very small range, and we've got all these like really niche ones that you wouldn't normally think of. How to create a Google Classroom banner in Canva, which is like a very specific one, or how to convert Canva presentation to Google Slides. And you can see, boom, like we found like these amazing keywords now because of that tool, essentially. And this one's 14,000 views, 1 year, amazing. So that's basically the free and paid way to find them. Now, how do you validate a keyword? There's two ways to do validation for keywords. Way one is you just make everything, make it all. Now, this is for people who don't really care as much about the ROI, and they just want it to be more hands-off. They just want the system to run in the background, and then they don't, you know, you're still going to make great money with this. This is for people who just kind of want to let it be on autopilot. Now, if you want to put more effort into it, you can search for untapped ones. This means you're going to get higher ROI. It's going to be way more time consuming. So let me explain what I mean by that. This is what I would consider as an untapped keyword. So this one here, how to use works cited MLA format tool in Google Docs. It's a very specific keyword, which you're not going to find that on the free tools. And also what we can see is the competition here, 49K views in 2 years, which is very big, which is huge. The thumbnail is very bad, meaning we can easily make a better thumbnail and outrank them. And the video quality is like, it's okay, but like we can beat this. This is what I mean by an untapped keyword. And there's a lot of untapped keywords out there that you can basically improve and you're going to outrank them. Or the other method is that you just do all the keywords. You don't really care about finding just these specific ones. And so the example I just gave you of like, you know, how to export Canva to PowerPoint is like, there's already videos out there for this. And, you know, there's competition here, but like, we don't really care because if we make enough videos, we're going to beat some of the competition, and that's what we need. And this is kind of the strategy we follow just because we want to run this like a business. We don't want to be in the business at all. We don't want to have to do all that validating. And just to give you an example of why this works, I want to show you this channel here. So in the last 365 days, the top earning video has earned $1,200. The next one's on 770, the next one's on basically 600. And so this one here is the equivalent of 60 videos making $20. So this is the same as 60 videos. So all you need is 1 in 60 videos to be a banger, and you've still matched that $20 per video kind of mark. So it's not necessarily about every single video doing well. It's about a few outliers basically paying for the whole channel. And so you can see here, like probably 80% of our revenue probably comes from 20% of our videos. And that's why that do everything strategy kind of works, because you don't need to make every video work. You just need some of them to do very well and you're going to be good. And so that's my validating keywords kind of theory. Like, you can validate it and you're going to get higher ROI, or you can make them all and you're still going to do very well. So next up on the list is actually video creation itself. And there's a few different ways you can do it. You've got the cheap way, which is pretty shit, to be honest. You have the expensive way. The quality is going to be much higher, but it's going to be expensive. Or you've got our hybrid way, which I'm going to explain. And this, in my opinion, is the best way to do it. So the cheap way, first of all, is you just hire someone from the Philippines and they're just going to do a voiceover. And it doesn't even have to be Philippines. It can be India. It can be anywhere like that. They're going to do a voiceover. You're going to give them the keyword, how do I add a product to Shopify? They're going to research how to do it, and they're going to speak over the video and show you how to do it. Now, there's a few problems with this. The first problem is that they don't have a native accent. So the accent is going to be a little bit hard to understand. And immediately, if someone clicks on your video and they hear an accent that's slightly hard to understand, there's a high chance they just click straight off. Like, that's pretty common. The second thing is that it's quite hard to hire people that are willing to do this. So there's not many people who can speak good enough English who are willing to do this role. It's not like a traditional job role. So we found that hiring a lot of people to do this is very hard. And, you know, speaking for 7 hours a day, making videos 7 hours a day is a hard job. It's very hard to do. It's very tiring. It's mentally draining. People don't last long like this. So it's very hard to kind of get people and hire them like this way. This way will be the cheapest, but the quality is just very poor. The next we can do is the expensive way. And so that's where you hire like a full team. So you get Filipino editor, a Filipino script writer. And basically what you do is you get the Filipinos to write the script, you get them to make a voiceover, you get them to screen record, you send it to an editor, the editor edits it up, syncs the audio up, all of that. And the thing is about this is that it's very high quality. You're going to have great accent because you can use a native voice. It's going to be super high quality, but it's expensive. You're going to need a few roles per video. So you need like editor, you're going to need like some other VA who's going to make the videos. And together these will be like a minimum $8 to $10 an hour for this. And you're probably able to make 3 videos per hour. So your cost is going to be like $3 to $5 a video. Now this might not sound like a lot, but at scale, you know, if you're doing 3,000 videos, that's 15 grand, which is a lot compared to the grand that we're trying to get the videos for. And so we built a hybrid way to do this basically, because we wanted to bridge the gap between the two, where you get this quality but this price. And so the way our system works is that you don't need an editor, you don't need a scriptwriter, you don't need someone to do voiceovers, you just need someone to do data entry. And all they have to do is basically just click buttons. They just have to like click buttons and just like research and enter data. So if it's how to add product to Shopify, they just have to go ahead, figure out how, and they just have to enter data into our software, and the software is going to automatically make the voiceover, it's going to make the script, it's going to edit it together, it's going to do all of those things that traditionally we'd have to have somebody doing. And because it does this, it means that the cost is low, it's $1 per video roughly, including everything, and the quality is super high. So I quickly show you here, this is our production tool, and there's a load of different things you can do in it. So this is our production tool, and essentially this just is like an all-in-one place where you add your employee to, or you can do it yourself, and it means that you don't have to have all of these different roles, and you can just make the video very quickly. And it connects up to our Chrome extension, and it means that you make a video about 6 minutes. So this really is like an optimal way for us. And so this is what I recommend. But at the very base level, if you want to do it yourself, you can just get OBS. OBS is a screen recording tool. Record your screen and then do a voiceover. You can get a microphone and do that, and just do it yourself. That's like another option you can do. But this way of doing it here is kind of a waste of time, because you can just hire someone to do this for $3 an hour. So you're basically valuing your time at $3 an hour, which is not very worth it. But ultimately, the videos we're trying to make are just simple how-tos. How to add a product to Shopify. Screen record what you're doing, tell them what you're doing, tell them how to do it, like 2 to 4 minutes, and you're good. So now let's talk about hiring a team. Now this, in my opinion, is very important, because hiring a team is where this becomes the automation side of it, where it's actually a business. And this allows it to be very, very hands-off and compound in the background. So as we're speaking right now, I've got a team right now that's building videos, making videos while I'm doing other stuff. And this is like the powerful part of it. If you do it yourself, it's still great, but really, yeah, hiring a team is amazing. So I'm going to cover like where places to avoid, where you should hire, what to look out for, how to interview them, and how to train them. So first of all, where do we want to avoid? We want to avoid places like Fiverr and like Upwork. And generally we want to avoid places that do gig work. So a gig is like a one-time job where they'll be like, I'll make you one thumbnail for $20 sort of thing. We want to avoid this because it's just not good long-term. And stuff like Fiverr and Upwork, the quality of work is just pretty bad in my opinion. It's like a marketplace and it's not very good. Instead, what we want to do is we want to get full-time or part-time employees from the Philippines. Now, full-time is good, part-time is also good. The reason I would say full-time is best, because if you're full-time with them, they're going to only have you as their client. You know, they're going to work for you. It means they're going to be more focused on the task. So the work's going to be high quality. They're not going to rush it. They're going to be very good at it. And so where we hire is onlinejobs.ph. So let me show you. So this is onlinejobs.ph. And essentially what it is, it's a job board where you can hire Filipinos only. It's really good because they've got to verify their ID, so that they know they're an actual Filipino and they're not like some random scammer. This is really good. Now, the thing about Filipinos is that number one, they're very hardworking. Number two, they're very honest. Number three, they are the capital of outsourced labor. Every country in the world outsources to Philippines. So it's like very high quality in terms of outsourcing. You know, nowhere else in the world is better for this. Number four, English is very good. They've got very good English. And number five, they're very affordable. You're going to be able to get a good employee starting at $3 an hour. As they improve and they go through your company, I would highly recommend increasing their salary. We have guys who even their salary goes up to like $8. My theory behind this is if you pay them well, they're going to work hard for you, they're going to stay with you, they're going to have what they need, they're going to be very content, they're not going to leave you. It's annoying if you have to keep hiring people, keep training people. So increase their salary. Even if it costs you a little bit more, it's still worth it. Now, for every 50 cent that you increase their salary per hour, it's only going to be like $60 a month. So pretty good. It's not really much, is it? The difference for them is crazy. The difference for us is like pretty marginal. So Philippines is great, and onlinejobs.ph is the best place to hire, I'd say. Now, what are we looking out for when we hire? Well, when we go on here, we're not looking for a video editor. We're not looking for a thumbnail designer. We're not looking for anything crazy specialized. We just want virtual assistants. Now, a virtual assistant is just someone who's like generally good and capable on a computer, and they can just follow instructions really. And they're going to be good at stuff like data entry, and you're going to get different price ranges. You're going to people that want $6 an hour, $4. But if you know how to, you know, people are going to do for $3 an hour. $3 an hour is like kind of a good going rate. But obviously you can go for more. And the reason for this is because if you try and find a specialized role, price is going to be high. If you want to find an editor, it's going to be $8 an hour. And there's going to be less people that are editors. So if I show you here some of my my real job postings. So if you see here, long form video editor, I needed a long form video editor for something. The applicants I got was 71 applicants, which is okay. Like gaming video editor, 35 applicants. Canva video creator and thumbnail designer, 63. Not many. But then when you go for virtual assistant, 200 applicants. Virtual assistant, 200 applicants. Virtual assistant, 198. And so the reason is because virtual assistant is a well-known job. People understand it. People are searching for this job role, meaning that you're going to be able to easily get people to do this. You don't want to frame this job as a video creation job. It's just data entry, really. It's just take information from here, put it over here, and that's what you want to do. And if you frame it like that, you'll get people for $3 per hour. You'll have a lot bigger scope of people doing it, and it's easier for them to do. If it's really complex, you'll pay more and it will be slow. So this is why we like to do the new process where it's hybrid, because of this reason, because we can hire so many more people, it's easier to manage, and it's more affordable. So we're looking for virtual assistants. Now, what do we look for in a virtual assistant? Well, for me, skill isn't that important. Work ethic is way more important. If you have someone who's hungry to work, that to me is very important, because someone that's hungry to work, they're not going to quit. They're going to stay with you. They're going to work hard. They're going to help you. They're going to go above and beyond to provide for the business. And alongside that, we want people that kind of need to work. What you'll see is you'll get a lot of people who maybe are younger. And what tends to happen with the young guys, if they live with their parents or something, they don't really have any reason to work. And so they'll get bored and they'll just feel lazy and they won't work hard. But if you go ahead and you find someone, let's say they're 35 and they've got 2 kids, they have to work. They have to make the money. And this means that they're going to be harder working. It means that they're going to be more consistent. And it means that they're not going to mess you around. They need the work. They don't want to be out of work. So these people are going to be great. Hire people like this. Skills obviously important, but like work ethic is the top one. One of the guys on our team, when we interviewed him, we were just like asking about what he did in his previous roles. And he told us that he would make or send about 200 emails per day. And I said, okay, this guy's hired. He's got great work ethic. He can just keep up the pace. And we knew this is great. But when I've hired people that are like skillful and intelligent, they just become lazy. So it's much better to hire someone who can actually do the work and is going to be consistent. Now, in terms of how to interview, what we like to do for our interviews is we have 2 phases. So in phase 1 of the interviews, this is going to be like a screening, an initial screening. And what I like to do is I keep these to 5 minutes, literally 5 minutes. So I'll have a Calendly link or some kind of booking system where they can book a time slot, and I'll message every single person who applies that, meets the criteria. And I'll say, you can book a 5-minute time slot. And what we'll do from 9 to 5, we will have a call every single 5 minutes. The reason is because longer than 5 minutes, like within 5 minutes, you can kind of get a good understanding if someone's good or not. And so if you do this for 8 hours in one day, it's very tiring, by the way, to this. It's a super long day, super tiring, but it's like super worth it. 8 hours in one day, you can get like 96 interviews done in a day. It's very tiring, but it's just worth it. You don't want to drag it out for a week. You just want to get it done. And so you just want to simply jump on the call with them and ask them, what's your name? Where are you from? Age, previous roles, why they want the job. And that's basically it, like why they want the job and like that kind of stuff. But it's really, you just want to get a gauge of them just to see, like, number one, is their English good? If their English isn't good, it's going to be really hard to communicate with them. So you want someone that's got good English. And you kind of just want to analyze them to like see, are they going to pick this up? So ask them a few questions. Have you ever used Shopify before? What previous roles have you done? And if they seem like someone that's tech savvy, that's great. You can also ask them like, are you good with repetitive tasks? That's another question we ask. And ask them like, what examples have you done? Repetitive stuff. But really, this is just to gauge like just a little bit about like, is this person viable at all? If they got bad English, just remove them. If they are like too young, I'd probably say remove them unless they're like super hungry. But if they've got like, oh, I've got kids and whatever, it's a great sign. If they've done like previous roles that's like data entry and like repetitive work, it's great. And if they like, why do they want the job? And they're like, oh, I just need to pay for my bills, I've got like family, whatever, it's a great sign. Then what you want to do is just like take like 10 people or however many, 10 people from this that were kind of the best and just give them a second interview. Now, what I like to do when I'm interviewing employers is I just take down some notes. And so I just write down some notes. This is like a few interviews that I've had, some notes about it. And I've just got stuff like previous stuff that he's done, what he likes to do, where he's from, his expected salary, along with their age. And then I just give them a rating out of 10. So like this one here, he was 24, had good English, but he wanted a lot of money. And also, yeah, he was young. And yeah, it was like a 4 out of 10. Like he might be okay, but probably not. And then essentially I've gone through this list and I've got like different ratings on people and just like different notes I've said about them. And we've got a few people here, like this guy here. This guy's called Jonathan. He's been a VA for 4 years. He's smart. He's tech savvy. His salary expectations is good. And then yeah, he's like an 8 out of 10. So that guy who's an 8 out of 10, I would just go ahead and book looking for another call. And so all the people that I think are good, I'll email them, or I'll message them on online jobs, and I'll just do phase 2. And then phase 2 is just going to be more like in depth, like explain the job role. This is the job role. This is the kind of work you'll be doing. Are you good at repetitive stuff? Can you pick stuff up quickly? And then you kind of want to go more in depth with all the questions. But this second one is kind of to figure out if they're actually good at the role, if they're going to understand it. And so once you've explained it to them, you'll be able to see, like, does it click in their head? If it doesn't click in their head, then they're not good. And then from this, you just want to whitelist like 1 to maybe 3 people, and you're going to give them a trial. And so the trial shift can be however long you want. It can be a day, it can be a week. It's up to you. We usually will do like a week trial, and we'll pick the best and keep them on. Or sometimes we've done like a week trial and we've had 3 guys who are good, and we're like, we'll just keep them all on. And that's kind of the hiring phase. It's like phase 1, screening, phase 2, in-depth interview, phase 3, trial. And then once they've passed those 3 phases, they're through and they'll be like a full-time member. Now, just for reference, we do all of our like employee management inside of Discord, just because it's easy. We have like an overall server for all of our employees. Inside there, they have their own chat. They have their own box for timesheets. So every single day they put in a timesheet, and it just makes it easy to manage and track. You can use stuff like Slack, but I think Discord is very good for us. And so now that you've got your employee, what you're going to do, just give them the process. Whichever process you have built out to make these videos, whether it's R1, the hybrid one that we use, or it's like a different process, just teach them how to do it and then let them get on with it. Now, our employees can do, at most, they can do 45 videos a day, and these are like high quality. And if we have like more complex, detailed videos, we're going to like go down to like 25. So it's between 25 to 45 a day they're going to do. This is very achievable. It's just about having the right systems. So this is a good point to aim for, I'd say. So at this point, what we should have is like, we should have our niche. We should have a list of, start off with a few hundred keywords, but ideally you want to build that keyword sheet out to a few thousand. And so let's say we've got 1,000 keywords on that list. We've got our employee and they're making the videos all the time. Now we need to talk about the channel itself. So we're going to talk about setting up the channel, the banner, the name, the profile pic, the thumbnails, and the uploads. Very simply, to make the thumbnails and stuff like that, we just use Photoshop. And so the layout, first of all, for the channel banner is very simple. You can type into Google, YouTube banner size, and you're going to get something like this. Copy this one. Let's just resize it. And so yeah, it's resized. This is going to be what you're going to see on mobile. This is what you see on desktop. So it doesn't really matter. Like this isn't really important. What I usually do is I'll just like make it some random color. Let's just put like this color here. I'll just put this here, and then I will write just like subscribe, as simple as that, just for the banner. Let's just resize this, put this here, and we'll central it, and we'll remove this, and like boom, that can be that can be the banner there. Like you don't need anything more than that. You just need something there. Now in terms of the profile picture, you've got a few options. Number 1, you can use your own face. This is a good option. Or if you don't want it, you can generate one with AI. Now for this, you've got many different ways you can do it. You can use Replicate, and on Replicate you've got all of the different models. So, let's say we use Nano Banana Pro, and we can ask ChatGPT to give us a prompt. Give me a face shot prompt for the profile pic and thumbnail. I'm going to copy this. See, the ratio should be 1:1, but it's fine. We'll see. And so here, this is one face shot we could use as the banner picture. Pretty good. It's also given us this other style. Let's just have a look at this. Tech entrepreneur. Now, either way, what we can do, new, and we're just going to do a square one. So 1080 by 1080 works very well. And we're just going to paste it into here like this. This would be a good profile picture, maybe a little bit too close. But you could use this. Let's see what else it comes up with. Like, this is pretty good as well. Face is a little bit dark, but like this is quite cool. And so boom, this would be a great profile picture. You can just upload this to your channel. Now the next part is the thumbnail. This part is very simple. We're going to use a template for this. We just want to do 1920 by 1080. And first of all, we're going to do is grab this image that we've just generated here, paste it in, and I'm just going to go ahead and put it in so the whole thing's in frame. I'm going to click on this remove background button. This is going to remove the background, and boom, there we go. Now on the right hand side, we like to always put a face. The reason for this is because faces attract people's eyes, and it's just going to help improve our click-through rate. If you want to as well, you can do some stuff like brightness, improve the brightness a bit. I think this photo is a little bit dark, to be honest, so let's just use the other one. I personally would like him facing the other way as well. I think it would make more sense, so just going to put him over this way. I'm going to remove the background. There we go. So put the auto brightness on as well. And so that's the first part. Now the next part we need is some kind of background. And if you're struggling to find or like struggling for inspiration, just go onto YouTube and look what other people are doing. So I'll show you a good few channels. One here is Trevor Nace. Now what he does is he will just have text on the left, phone on the right, which works very well. You've got Guide Realm. His are quite dynamic. So he has a lot of the time, he has photo of his face and then like icons. It will have like just a lot of icons. This is a good format here, but this is a bit unique. We have stuff like Tech Express. These guys have like a face sometimes. Theirs is quite dynamic. And so like this one's quite cool. They've got like a white grid, which I'm going to take. So I'm going to do white grid background high res. Yeah, so let's just say this one here. We'll paste it behind, resize it. And then I think what they've done is they've got like the opacity pretty low. So it's like this almost. And now what they're going to do is they're going to put the text. So there's a few things to note. If you put it on the bottom left, the text will be covered on Google. So let me give you an example here. How to add product Shopify. If you look on Google, the time is on the bottom left. So you can see they have the text on the bottom left, meaning the time overlaps it. Whereas if you have the text on the top left, it's going to be more visible, but you'll be blocking off the logo. So it really depends. Like you see this guy does that. You also have the play button blocks it. So you have to be slightly aware of those, but on YouTube, it'll be on the flip side that the time's on the right side. Just for this, I'm going to put it in the bottom corner. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make it about this big, the bottom corner, and I'm just going to put it black for now. And in the top right, I'm going to use the logo. So let's just say Shopify logo. So we're making Shopify video. We're going to go ahead, copy this in here, downsize it, and what we can do is use the magic wand icon here, and we're just going to resize it down here like this. What I like to do is I like to add like an outer glow and a drop shadow. The outer glow I'm going to make it white and the opacity 100%, and so it's going to have like this white border around it, and it's going to have like a bit of a shadow. That's what I personally like to do. And then so we're going to have to make this a little bit smaller, and let's say the title is add products. We'll just type in add products, and we go ahead and press this button up here. It's like a lightning tool, and this is going to make the fonts as big as possible essentially. And so let's go and have a look at what other people are doing. They're using like a kind of a gray, or they're using like a two-tone. So let's say we can change the top one to like the Shopify color, maybe that might look good. Add products. Do they have any shadow on theirs? No shadow. I think their font is a little bit nicer. I usually like to use Montserrat, or there's one called like Gibson, which you can use. Let's just say this, and we'll just go black like that. I think we could even copy the layer style from here, and so we can even add an arrow here as well, like red arrow PNG. Let's find one that's nice. This one's decent. Paste it in, and we'll grab a magic wand, delete the background, size it here, and then I will grab this layer style, I'll paste it on here and make this a bit smaller. It's like that would be like a really basic thumbnail that would work, and I kind of just sped through that, but I just wanted to kind of give you an example of like how simple a thumbnail can be and like the base concept of it. And the base concept is left hand side you have the text and the logo, and right hand side you have the person's face. That's on the base level. If you want to have like an iPhone on there, if you're doing like an iPhone tutorial, you can do. So for example, if we look at the other ones that I was showing, like the Trevor Nace ones, you can have a phone on the right as well. So like someone holding a phone, you could put this here if it was an iPhone related tutorial. And so that's banner, that's profile pic, that's thumbnail. And for the name, it doesn't need to be complex. You can just call it something like tutorials with, and then your name. So you know, tutorials with Michael, or like, you know, what your name is, like Michael's help guides, Mike's help, you know, whatever it is, just something that sounds like helpful. If you're going to focus on one niche as well, you could be like Figma, Mr. Figma help or something, you know, it doesn't really matter. Like, it doesn't matter at all. People aren't going to click on your videos because your name or your profile picture or your banner. They're going to click on it because of the title of the tutorial. The thumbnail is way more important than this other stuff. Now let's talk about uploads and how to format your uploads. And I'm going to show you on here. Simply what we want to do is put the title of the video. So how to view referral code in Gcash. After that, we want to put something in brackets. This is proven to increase your click-through rate. So 2026 shows that's a 2026 guide, or you can put step by step, full tutorial, something like that at the end of it, just so people know what it is. Then you just want to put a little description about what you're doing, and that's it. Simple as that. And that's the simple what you want to do for every upload. And now at this point, it really just is a waiting game. It's a case of just consistently uploading every single day for 6 months. And let's say you want to do 3,000 videos. So it's 3,000 divided by 6 months. That's gonna be 500 videos per month. So 500 divided by 30. If you're uploading 30 days a month, it's 16 videos a day. If it's 20, it's more like 25 videos per day. And so you basically have to just consistently post that, and you'll see your channel will just grow nicely. And what you'll notice is, like, at first it's going to grow very slowly. Like the first few months it won't grow much, but you'll see it has like this really compounding ramping effect where it compounds and spikes up like this. And then once you've done that, 3 months, 6 months, you leave the channel, you've got yourself this machine that kind of prints money for you. The videos are going to continue to rank, people will continue to search them, and you've built yourself a really, really nice piece of passive income. Now, there's obviously more in-depth stuff than just this, but this is like a base overview of like how you can get started really with it and get going. And you know, anybody can do this. This channel was started at the end of basically the start of 2025, and in 2025 it made like $47,000. So if you started 2 of those, you could probably hit 1,000. You could probably hit 100k profit almost from 2 channels, and it's not like you're doing anything crazy. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. That was like the 2026 beginners starter guide, like very first steps of actually getting into this business model. Now down below the video, we're going to have the Telegram. In the Telegram, we post a lot of source every single day, so stuff like niches and just loads of different tips to make it easier for you. We also offer our private program in there, where we kind of have a bit more in depth about this, and also in the private program you get the softwares that I showed in the video, so the keyword tool and the production tool. But yeah, go down below if you have any questions as well, DM them to me on Telegram and I can answer them. And yeah, this is like a great business model I'd recommend starting. So yeah, join the Telegram, like, subscribe, and thank you for watching. Let's make 2026 good.